Good morning, students. Today we are going to start a new topic in chemistry from the same chapter, which is electrovalent bond. Electrovalent bond is also called ionic bond, and this is the bond which is formed between metal and non-metal.
Zero.
Metal and non-metal. We know metals are the elements with 1, 2 and 3 in the valence electron, and non-metals are the elements with 5, 6, 7 as the valence electron. So whenever metals and non-metals combine, it will be the metals that will be losing the electrons, and the same number of electrons will be gained by non-metal. As a result, there will be a force of attraction between the metals and non-metals take place, which is called a bond between the two atoms, and this bond so formed will be ionic in nature. Let us take an example. Suppose we have sodium whose atomic number is 11, electronic configuration is 281. You can see 1 is the valence electron. So it is a metal and it can combine with chlorine with 7 as the valence electron. So when sodium loses 1 electron, it forms sodium ion, and this electron lost by sodium will be gained by chlorine, because you can see chlorine has 7 in the last orbit. So to complete its octet it needs 1 more electron, and this 1 electron will be gained. As a result, it will be forming chloride ion. So after losing an electron, an atom will form a positive ion. This positive ion is called cation, and when a non-metal gains the electron, it will form a negative ion, which is called anion. Now this positive ion, that is Na plus, and chlorine, that is chloride ion, will experience a force of attraction between the two. As a result, a bond will be formed between sodium and chlorine atom, and this bond, since it is between metal and non-metal, so this bond is called electrovalent bond or ionic bond. So you should know that ionic bond is formed always between the positive and the negative charge. This is also called electrovalent bond, which is due to the positive and negative charges on the respective atoms. So here we have two terms, electrovalency and electrovalent compounds. Electrovalency is the number of electrons lost or gained during the formation of electrovalent compound. For example, sodium can lose 1 electron, so its electrovalency is 1. Chlorine can gain 1 electron, so its electrovalency is 1. Next is electrovalent or ionic compounds. These are the compounds which contains ionic bond between the two atoms. We have example like sodium chloride. There is a bond called ionic bond between sodium and chlorine, so it is an ionic compound, which is also called electrovalent compound. Some more examples: calcium oxide, so potassium oxide, cesium fluoride. And cesium fluoride is the most ionic compound, means it is the strongest ionic compound. You should understand one thing, that ionic compounds are very strong in nature because they are highly stable. And the reason for being highly stable for this kind of compounds is that the strong force of attraction is between the two atoms here. Here sodium and chlorine will have a very strong force of attraction. Calcium and oxygen also has a very strong force of attraction, and so on. But cesium fluoride has got the most ionic compound because it is strongest in nature. You can see here some nature of ionic compound. It is highly stable, and because of the strong force of attraction, it has high melting and boiling point. Now we are going to see the orbit structure for the formation of ionic compounds. Okay, let us now see the orbit structure of electrovalent bonding in sodium chloride. Just now we saw that sodium chloride can form an electrovalent compound. How can we show it with the help of structure? Using the orbits is shown here. We know sodium has atomic number 11, electronic configuration is 281. Similarly, chlorine has 287. It's clear from here that sodium has 1 electron in the last orbit, whereas chlorine has 7. And both are incompletely filled. That is, they have no completely octet. So sodium can lose 1 electron to form sodium ion. Chlorine can gain 1 electron to form chloride ion. So using this 281, let us draw the orbit structure for sodium. As you can see, it requires 3 shells. So we will draw 3 orbits around the nucleus with 2 electrons in the first orbit, 8 electrons in the second orbit, and 1 electron in the last orbit. Same as chlorine also requires 3 orbits or 3 shells with 2 electrons in the first shell, 8 in the second shell, and 7 in the third shell. Now because sodium is a metal and has 1 electron in the last orbit, so it can lose this extra electron, so that only 8 electrons would be left in the second orbit and would become stable. So this how we can show it with the help of an arrow mark. We can show the transfer of this 1 electron from sodium to chlorine, because chlorine also requires 1 electron to become stable. Now when 1 electron is lost, sodium is now having only 2 orbits around the nucleus, with 2 electrons in the first orbit and 8 electrons in the second orbit. Chlorine, the number of shells will remain same, and 1 electron that is transferred to chlorine atom will now be added to the third orbit. So the third orbit will now have 8 electrons instead of 7. So both atoms now have stable configuration. That is, they have 8 electrons in the last orbit. And because of this loss and the gain of electrons, you can see sodium is forming positive charge and chlorine forms negative charge. So there will be an electrostatic force of attraction between the two oppositely charged ions. And we can now see a bond is formed between the oppositely charged particles. This bond is called ionic bond, which can finally be shown as a compound sodium chloride. So this is called the orbit structure to show the electrovalent bonding during the formation of sodium chloride. Tomorrow we will see some more examples, and your homework is to practice this orbit structure once again. Thank you.